Advait is asking, Pranam Acharya ji. Ashtavakra Gita, chapter 10, verse 7. Prosperity, pleasure, pious deeds, enough. In the dreary forest of the world, the mind finds no rest. Here the word pious deeds does not seem to belong to the family which the word prosperity and pleasure appear to belong to. As per my understanding, prosperity and pleasure seem to belong to materialistic part of life, but pious deeds seem to belong to the truth. Please help me to understand what does Ashtavakra mean by the word pious deeds. No, Javed, not that way. In the world of Ashtavakra, these three belong to the same dimension: prosperity, pleasure, and piti. Piti referring to pious deeds. Prosperity, pleasure, and piti. They belong to the same dimension. Yes, you are right. Generally, in worldly terms, in moralistic terms, prosperity and pleasure are held as something material and worldly. And pious deeds, virtues, piti, they are held as something belonging to the other world. No, not at all. We have had a long discourse on the difference between morality and spirituality in the very last session. I would advise you to go through that again. Pious deeds belong to the world of morality, and morality is not spirituality. Na papam, na punyam, na dukkham, na sukham. You go to a Dattatreya or a Ribhu or an Ashtavakra, they all will be quick to denounce virtues as much as they denounce vices. Because they focus on the actor and not the action. They focus on the doer and not on the deeds. Because they do not focus on the deeds, so for them pious deeds are only as good or bad as profane deeds. Piti or profanity, for them, they both belong to the same dimension. They are talking of something beyond that dimension. In most cultures, in most denominations, it is considered great to do good deeds. Not in the world of Ashtavakra. Not in the world of real spirituality. Here no deed is stamped as good and no deed is stamped as bad. You can put it this way. Or you can put it another way and more accurate way. That deeds that are stamped as bad and deeds that are stamped as good are both kept in the same container. And what is that container? The one that contains stamped deeds. If the deed is stamped, put it in this vessel. Doesn't matter what the stamp reads. The stamp can read good, or the stamp can read bad, or the stamp can read indifferent, or something. If it is stamped, put it in this vessel, and this vessel we do not want to look at, throw it away. This is not easily digestible to those who have been conditioned to live moral lives. For them, there are specifically good deeds and specifically bad deeds. Charity for them is, for example, good deed. Without understanding the real meaning of charity, they will keep on donating. The result being that such donations only enhance the impurity within the ego. They cause the ego to puff up even more. Without knowing the real meaning of violence, they will keep denouncing wars. The result is that wars keep happening. More and more people keep suffering. Without knowing the real meaning of help, they'll continue to keep helping. Without knowing the real meaning of anger, they will continue to criticize anger. Something is good, something is bad. Of course, such a classification helps only the hair-brained. Oh, that's an insult to the hair. The hares are a close relative of the rabbits. And I dare not do anything that offends my rabbits. So, that word should be put off the record. One has to be lazy to just follow the conventional separation between good and bad. If you are someone who has no light of his own, then it suits you to just ask your neighbor, what is considered good? And he tells you, all these things are considered good. Keep your house clean, wash your face twice a day, be a good girl, obey the parents, respect the neighbors, bow to the elderly, and because you are so lazy, you don't bother to inquire. So you just follow these things. And you are equally lazy in inquiring about the things that are prohibited. And they tell you, don't drink, don't sleep with strangers, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, and it's fine. Don't do this, and now I'm okay. Now, obviously, I'm not advising you to reverse the titles. That all those things that are considered bad, you start taking them as good. There are many who do that in the name of rebellion. Conventional morality forbids drugs. So let's do drugs, man. The liberals, for example. Yeah. Let's do everything that offends the moralists. I'm not advising that. I am indifferent to the conventional labels. I'm saying you have it within you to know for yourself. Know for yourself, and the decision then will be spontaneous. When I used to go to college students, I used to ask them, that which was considered good, is it considered good anymore? So how do you know that that which is considered good would be considered good in the future? Tell me. Just 100 years back, that which was socially sanctioned, it is approved anymore? It is not approved anymore. Even today, things that are considered admissible in one community, are they admissible and acceptable in other communities? They are not. Even the laws vary, the state laws. In one country, you have one thing that is barred. In the other country, it is freely allowed. What is good and what is bad? Figments of man's fertile top story. Pranam Acharya ji. Why wisdom in action is not so immediate for me? How can I overcome this? Kabir from Kolkata. What you probably mean, Pravir, is that why are you not able to put into action that which wisdom has brought to you? Realization and action are always together. You cannot realize and not act. To realize is to lose your decision-making capacity. To realize is to surrender your decision-making capacity. Then realization decides and acts on your behalf. So if you say that you realize, and yet the right action is not happening, then either you do not realize at all, or you are matching the action happening against your image of the right action. Please appreciate. Realization may bring about an action that you have never imagined or conceptualized as the right action. So even if that right action, truly right action, comes about, you would still remain dissatisfied because that action is not what you imagined to be the right action. So either that is the possibility, or you are not realizing anything at all. If you say that you know and yet not act, then probably you do not know at all. Knowing has a tremendous power, absolutely tremendous power. It leaves you helpless. Once you know, the action starts happening. Even if your latent fears then try to impede that action, it won't get stopped. Yes, Pradeep? So, when you say that you have realized, pause for a while and ask yourself, have I? Hint, if you have realized, you can have no other concern. If along with realization you have 5 other concerns, then rest assured you haven't realized. Once realization comes, realization itself is the biggest concern, the driver, the master. Along with realization, if you face 5 other issues, oh, I realize, but, oh, I realize, but, I know that, but, if these several buts or even one of them are present in your mind, then rest assured that realization is not yet there.